Well, hello, my fellow humans. Keith the Human here, Park City, Kentucky. It's been a minute since I make a video. That seems to be the pattern here lately, isn't it? Any of y'all still watching me? I don't know. Man, we live in a crazy, crazy, fucked up world. This video is going to be a little different than ones I've made in the past, so excuse me while I scratch my ankle where mosquitoes are eating me alive. With spray on, mind you. It's muggy as fuck here in South Central Kentucky, Mammoth Cave area. It's like 92 degrees today, and it's just the humidity is dumb. It's like Africa, hot and dreary and awful. And it only gets better from here on out. But the reason I wanted to make a video today is I just want to say my piece on this whole UAP, UFO, alien disclosure stuff that's going on right now. I don't know how many of y'all saw the press conference the other day, or have been keeping up with the hearings for the past several years. But we are on the cusp of full disclosure from the U.S. government. Not full disclosure, but good enough disclosure, I believe. They're already releasing stuff. And hey, I'm not giving any credit to Donald Trump. What Donald Trump is doing is trying to distract from the Epstein files. But, I mean, it's a win still. You know, he had to distract from that to get him to release this shit. And enough people are trying to manipulate and play him with praises and tell him how great he is, and he needs to get ahead of this thing. And we'll see how this all turns out. But I believe regardless of what he does or what they try to do with the Pentagon, the cat's out of the fucking bag now, guys. It's out of the bag. A lot of us have known for fucking decades now that they were doing this shit, trying to convince more people of it because the circumstantial evidence is over fucking whelming. It's insane how many people have seen stuff, have heard stuff, have fucking been through stuff. There is no fucking way this is some kind of mass hoax. If it was, why isn't psychology studying it, you know? Why don't they have papers written on this shit that it's just like, this would be one of the craziest things ever, you know? Even like the Bigfoot stuff. I mean, that's one of the craziest psychological, if these things aren't real, these people are going to be crazy, you know? Why isn't anybody studying this, you know? They're all telling basically the same kind of story, and have been for eons, no matter how they were ridiculed or pointed at and othered. These people stuck their stories and stuff. Thousands and thousands of people have UFO stories. We got pictures, we got video. That's not enough for the skeptic. Fucking can't stand a skeptic. I love having a skeptical mind. I'm a skeptical person myself, but a skeptic is not the same. A skeptic will fucking thumb their fucking nose at everything. Even if there's evidence, they'll refuse to look at the evidence because they think they know everything. They think what their education taught them everything they fucking need to know. Their indoctrination, they call it an education. Guys, this is the biggest story of our existence, and it's right here, and nobody seems to give a fuck. That's the crazy part, because, well, for one thing, the biggest liar who the world has ever known is the one going to disclose all this stuff, and that leaves a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth, including me. A lot of credibility is lost due to that. I won't fucking call foul on that at all because that's facts. But just the sheer amount of people that have come out and risked their careers, their livelihoods, everything, just to blow a whistle on this shit. Have their lives turned inside out. Nothing to gain from this. Also, yeah, some of them might write a book with a big fucking deal. You could write a book without going through all that shit. This is real. It's been real for our whole lives, at least since Roswell. Do yourself a favor. If you're a non-believer, go to a YouTube channel called Eyes on Cinema and just pick a video and start watching. This is an archive of videos over the last 50, at least 50 years, maybe 60 years. Some of them are in black and white. But it's a treasure trove of people telling what they went through and what they saw and how it affected them, and it's insane. The mainstream media has been manipulating us our entire fucking lives. Even back when they said, well, every journalist had some integrity. Yeah, they did. There was a lot of journalists that had integrity back in the 70s and the 80s. But that doesn't mean their corporate-owned news channel had any integrity. And if a government entity or somebody above a government entity tells you you're not going to air this, you're not going to talk about this, they don't air that or they don't talk about that. That's how that works. If they do happen to sneak a story on the news about something that's UFO related, cryptid related, or whatever, they get those anchors just really ginned up, or they think they're the funniest motherfuckers in the world, and they poke fun at it the whole fucking time. And it's disgusting. It's disgusting what they do. It's manipulation right there is what they're doing to the public. Ridicule and casting people out because of things that they've seen and said they've seen. That is the quickest way to stamp this shit out. Is what that does, it makes people not want to talk because they'll be ridiculed. And I know from being delved into this fucking subject most of my life. I was a little kid raised in a Pentecostal church that we were the only thing that God ever created. And I'd look up in the sky at night and go, that's bullshit. You mean to tell me all those stars up there, ain't none of them got planets circling around it? You know, I knew that in third grade, you know, how our solar system worked. So you're telling me that this almighty God that loves us and we're the main thing for him did create nothing else. All those little lights up there just for us to enjoy, I guess, you know. I called bullshit on that when I was a kid. And I've always believed in aliens. I've always believed in shit. Because it just made sense. But like I said, the media poisoned people's minds by teaching them to ridicule people that thought anything different than what they were told. Their so-called education, their indoctrination into what certain people wanted them to know. They've been lying to us about everything for a fucking long time. And we're getting ready to see disclosure. I've been watching those Steven Spielberg interviews, and he's like, man, this isn't a sci-fi movie. This is based in real shit. We're right on the cusp of them coming out and saying, yeah, we're not alone, we never have been. I think there's a whole lot of shit that they know that we don't. I think it opens up the door for a whole lot of shit. But they lose control once that shit gets out. And that's why they've been stamping it down for so long. But I watched the press conference. Besides all the Trump's dick slurping going on from fucking Tim Bird shit and Anna Paulina Lunatic and that other little fucking worm, whatever his fucking name was. I ain't talking about Moskowitz. He's a fucking worm too, but but it was a bipartisan effort because Moskowitz is on there. And I believe what they're saying. I believe the whistleblowers. Even though Tim Burchett is a fucking a liar, and he worships a liar, and Donald Trump, Luna's the same fucking way. But this is something that goes beyond politics. These people that have come out and risked everything they had to testify under oath to the public and in skips. There's a lot of shit they have not fucking let out. And I've been keeping up with this shit for a long time, and what I have learned is there's about 7 different species of aliens that we have had contact, at least 7 of them, on this planet with. We have had contact with. And some say that we have agreements with. Certain ones. The videos are everywhere now, guys. They're shit in our skies every fucking where. It's coming out now. I think because of the advent of cameras, it's coming out now. And they're trying to stamp down as much of it as they can, but like I said before, the cat's out of the bag. All these people that have been telling this shit since Roswell, well, hell, even in World War I, they saw these little orbs and shit in the sky, and they called them Foo Fighters. So Dave Grohl got the name for his band, Aliens. Dave Grush the other day in that press conference talked about plasmodian. I think is the term he used. They're made out of plasma. Entities that fly through the sky that are actually alive. God damn, man. We have been so fucking lied to in this country for so long by the powers that be. Because once they let you know what is going on, well, all hell's going to break loose. This is going to tear down all kinds of institutions, especially religion. Thank God. Thank God this might kill religion. I'm a very spiritual man, and I do believe there's a God. But I do not believe in religion. Religion is fucking foul. It's disgusting. And the minute we get away from that bullshit, we're going to become better people. And I'm hoping this is what's going to happen. Maybe all this shit had to work out like it has for them to release this shit. Maybe Trump had to be in power, because Joe Biden could have released this shit. Obama could have released this shit. And I ain't going to believe for a second they don't know. Horse fucking shit. All the way to the end of the universe on that shit. For real. They knew. But they listened to people who said, we can't do this. You know what's going to do, society? Maybe to wake a bunch of people up. And make them realize, hey, y'all ain't the be-all end-all. Stop living your life like that. Would you start living your life like you got a soul? Like you're a spiritual being, which we are. Sorry if it offends you atheists, but go fuck yourselves. We are spiritual beings. It's going to be proven by science soon. If you, like here, go back to the skeptics and shit. I've been delved into NDEs for about 25 years. Reading everything I can, watching people, listening to people. There's several doctors that have been studying this stuff for 20 or 30 years. And they've got data and they've got peer-reviewed studies that consciousness exists outside the brain, not in it. The consciousness is like the electrical outlet, and we're just plugged into it. And they're getting closer and closer to having to fucking just admit that, because the data shows it. The data shows that what they say is happening is not happening. The Bigfoot thing, all of it, all the cryptids, Loch Ness, all of it. I think they've been lying to us about goddamn just about anything. Anything that doesn't benefit them, that doesn't help their cause, doesn't help them gain any more power. Because they're kind of powerless when they admit to you, yeah, we got shit flying around the sky that we can't do anything with, you know? And it kills me that these skeptics will say, well, there's no evidence. Y'all won't even fucking look at the evidence. You skeptic cocksuckers won't even fucking give it the time of day, because you've been told this is this way and that's the way it is. So you won't even entertain anything that goes outside your little box they put you in, you know? That's what pisses me off about science. A lot of it's ego-driven. A lot of it's about self. Oh, yeah. Excuse me. But they know that their excuses are running thin on a lot of this shit. But also the powers that be fund a lot of these people. So if your research wants to be funded by the government, you better shut the fuck up about some shit that you may know about things, and go along with the program, because they don't want you to think you got it. So capitalism doesn't want that. Capitalism wants you to think this is the be-all, end-all. Buy as much shit, spend as much money as you can, do as much fucking as you can, or eat everything you ever seen, and as long as they can sell you shit, they don't give a fuck. But if people wake up and go, hey man, we got something inside of us that ain't this body right here, and that's the reason we're here, well, that's gonna destroy a lot of business. And capitalism don't give a fuck. Capitalism don't care about your well-being, your spiritual well-being, your physical well-being, your emotional well-being. They don't give a fuck about that. They want to keep you anxious and worried so you'll buy shit, is what capitalism wants. So they definitely don't want you to know about aliens. And these tech companies, these Lockheed Martin and the like, who actually have these ships and biologics and stuff and have studied them, they don't want that out. They don't want people to know that. But it's too late to stop it now. It's a snowball coming downhill now. We're gonna see some crazy shit, man, here in the next year. Might see some crazy shit in the next few weeks. But it's coming. They have been softening us up to tell us for a long time. I think Steven Spielberg was involved in that too. A lot of the movies that we've seen have really been softening us up for disclosure. And it's just a goddamn shame that goddamn kid fucking piece of fucking shit monster is going to be the one that does it. But a lot of people ain't going to believe it just because it's him. And that's sad, because if you go and listen to... And Harry Reid actually got this ball rolling on alien shit way back in the day. Back in the early 2000s, before he died. He set up a committee and was diverting funds to that committee, and they were looking into this fucking shit. What kind of government programs were going on behind their backs. They had to do it in secret, though. They wouldn't let them have the money if they knew what they was doing with it. But they were the ones that got the ball rolling. In 2017, they released those videos. New York Times released those videos, that Tic Tac thing flying around in the air, and it got people going, hey, what the fuck? But our history's rife with it. They had hearings in the 70s about UFOs, y'all. Back before Roswell, or back around Roswell, they would be on the news. They would talk about it like it was a common thing, and then all of a sudden they was like, "Oh, we can't talk about it. There's too many of these. I guess, I don't know." They had to cover it up, and man, there's so many documented crashes of these things throughout our history for last 7 decades, y'all. Just look into it. That's why people scoff at it, because they don't want to look into the evidence. Like I said, go to Eyes on Cinema and just start watching videos. It'll blow your fucking mind. Go watch the one where the children of Roswell, when they were in their fucking 80s and getting ready to die, and they went and made a video and testified what they saw that day, because they didn't want to take it to their graves. Yet mainstream media and everybody else, any publication that's connected to the government, lies to you about this shit. Has been lying to you about this shit. They've been controlling us with religion. This is going to fucking blow religion away. Religion will be gone after this comes out. It's the biggest story of our lifetimes that people are scoffing and making fun. And I get it. The clowns that are doing it, you know why they're doing it. They don't want to do it. Tim Burchett's about full of shit as a person you ever seen. But the stuff he's saying I believe. We've known, a lot of us have known this shit for years. Military, ex-military, government, ex-government have been telling us this shit for decades about what's been going on. But then the media comes in, laughs at it, and then a popular science says, no, there's no way it can happen. And people go, oh, there's no way it can happen. Because they're lying to you. Been lying to you, and they're always going to lie to you till we get a better system. Till we get rid of this thing we've got, this abomination called a government. I just wish they'd come down here and straighten us out. Whatever one. Hey, aliens, somebody come down here and fucking straighten us out, because we're fucking retarded down here, y'all. Well, anyway, that's all I got right now, I guess. That's the main points I wanted to get at. I'll probably make a part 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 5 of this. Because like I said, I've believed this shit my entire life. Now we have evidence. They've been living under our oceans. You know? They might have interbred with us. There might be people mingling with us in public that are part aliens. We might be from these motherfuckers. That'd be another reason to keep that shit quiet, wouldn't it? And Bigfoot. Bigfoot might have been the prototype, and we wound up this. It's gonna blow the lid off a whole lot of shit, man. And if you don't believe it, just take some time and go and start researching shit. Not researching, looking stuff up on the internet. Certified stuff, and there's lots of it. There's lots of video of testimonials. Look and see if those people are lying to you. A lot of them took lie detector tests and passed them. You know. This is not something new. This is something that we all should have been aware of 20, 30 years ago. Anyway, guys, I love y'all. Y'all keep fighting the good fight, and I will see you next time. Peace.